One of the things that ticks me off a lot personally is when something slows me down when I need to get to my training, my workout, right? Or if by some rare circumstance I have to miss my training for some weird, reason. It really ticks me off. It gets me really frustrated, and I'm not very. I don't really like myself very much. Like I mean, training is my thing. I like going to the gym. I like working out. I like challenging myself in the ways that I do. And when something stops me from doing that, it's because something that I want to do for myself. When something stops me from doing that for myself, it's very frustrating. I suffer a lot inside. No one may see it. I may do my best, but I'm very quiet and very to myself, and I don't really like myself very much. I know a lot of people. Well, I know people that I'm close to that can relate to that. When you're not able to do the things that you want to do, like training, you aren't really good. You aren't really taking care of yourself. You aren't really feeling good about yourself. You just, life feels pointless. So these things, after some time, I realized that working out, wanting to work out, wanting to stay healthy, wanting to stay fit is a desire. And I have many different desires, and we all have many different desires that are related to us. But with desire, something that I learned recently, comes suffering. And having desires isn't bad. Wanting to achieve things for yourself, wanting to be financially free, wanting to work out, wanting to be healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually in all your dimensions. It's not really a bad thing. Having the desire for these things in your life isn't a bad thing. Because they're leading to things that are great in our lives. Suffering for the right reasons is good. It can help us achieve things that we want to achieve for ourselves. But with desire, we needs to come a sort of awareness. And that awareness is important because it's going to help us understand that with these little things that we want in our everyday lives, these many desires, we're going to have to be watching over ourselves and making sure that we're not spending so much of our time and energy on things that don't matter, because we're going to want things in our everyday lives. We get frustrated when sometimes we wake up in the morning, we're about to go brush our teeth because we're late for work and there's no toothpaste there, and suddenly we explode inside. Or when we're late for work and we suddenly jump into our car and start driving off to work and start to see that the traffic has built up, and suddenly we're frustrated at the traffic. Because with these many desires that we have in our everyday lives, there's going to be suffering there as well, right? So more than anything else, we need to be aware of these little things that we want in our everyday lives that's affecting us in the ways that they do. We need to make sure that we're watching over ourselves and we're being aware of how we're investing our time and energy, and we're picking our battles. And more than anything else, we're suffering for our one main desire. It's something that I didn't really think about until I heard this conversation between Naval Ravikant and Joe Rogan, where Naval says to Joe Rogan that we should all pick our one overwhelming desire and we should suffer for that. And all the other little things along the way, we shouldn't really worry about those things. So for the bigger things in our lives, for the things that are going to improve our lives, we should suffer for that. Like if we want to be fit mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually in all our dimensions, right? If we want we want these things for ourselves, it's going to help us improve our lives, we should suffer for that. But for the little things that don't really matter, the little things that are not going to help us, we shouldn't really suffer for that. We should pick our battles and we should choose the best way forward for us. Because at the end of it all, we're going to suffer. Suffering is inevitable. Suffering is going to find us no matter what path we choose. But if we check in with ourselves before we choose to face a battle, if we ask ourselves whether this thing is going to serve us in the longer term, in the grander scheme of things, if we ask ourselves whether what we're investing ourselves in today is actually going to help us be better people, actually going to help us reach our goals in terms of our health, wealth, every aspect of our life. If we ask ourselves these questions and try to figure out, whether this battle is actually serving us, it'll help us understand where we can invest ourselves. And if we are going to suffer, we'll suffer for the right reasons. We'll suffer less than we actually should. Instead of suffering for these billions of desires that we have every day, we're suffering for the one overwhelming desire that's actually going to serve us in our life, in terms of the grander scheme that we have for ourselves. So it was something that I picked up in myself recently, and it was very eye-opening. So in some way, I hope this helps you. If you're getting so caught up in your everyday life and you're finding yourself caught up in your own desires, wanting these little things, these things that are not going your way, I hope in some way this helps you be more aware of yourself and how you invest your time and energy. So pick your battles and take care of yourself out there. Cool. Peace.